Namo Phat. Good morning. Thank you for joining me for a daily practice check-in. Listen, listen, listen. This beautiful sound calls us back to our true home. The fourth mindfulness training. Aware of the suffering caused by unmindful speech and the inability to listen to others, I vow to cultivate loving speech and deep listening in order to bring joy and happiness to others and to relieve others of their suffering. Knowing that words can create happiness or suffering, I am determined to speak truthfully with words that inspire self-confidence, joy, and hope. I will not spread news I do not know to be certain, and will not criticize or condemn things of which I am not sure. I will refrain from uttering words that can cause division or discord, or that can cause a family or the community to break. I am determined to make all efforts to reconcile and resolve all conflicts, however small. This morning we're finishing reading chapter 1 of Ajahn Thiradhammo's book, Working with the Five Hindrances. And this is a section on patient perseverance and commitment. The quiet qualities of patience, continuity, and commitment give us a different kind of energy. It's not the instantaneous charge of willpower, but that daily sticking with it staying power of the long-term view that keeps us going through thick and thin. It takes considerable perseverance and continuity to pursue meditation exercises when your mind has not been developed and is in the grip of a hindrance, or all five. And it may be helpful to know that human beings have a negativity bias, which tends to focus on the problems rather than the successes. Thus, the difficulties of life often seem disproportionately larger than they actually are. Some patience with them may allow time for a reality check to gauge their real stature. It's not a matter of succeeding all the time, but if we fail, we keep going. Whatever happens, practice keeps going steadily, patiently. Getting familiar or noticeable results will work for a while, but not forever. However, continuity of practice draws in everything. All experiences are plowed in to fertilize the life ground of practice. Commitment allows us to keep looking at both inspiration and non-inspiration, success and failure, the ups and downs. All of these can be brought into the picture now. Truth includes everything. It's very interesting to notice what doesn't energize us or how we lose energy. When energy is there, fine, plug into that. When it fades away, we have something else to plug into, our commitment to follow through to the truth. Commitment doesn't always have to have a capital C. It can also be a practical determination, for example, for a certain period of time. The hindrances can be very energy depleting, whereas if we can determine to give it a go for a week, a month, a year, or whatever, we can possibly suspend the doubt and channel that energy directly into practice. When the time determined ends, we can reevaluate the situation and maybe redetermine another period. This is actually a very effective method, especially for spiritual practice. We have concepts about practice, but they are usually not quite in tune with the reality of it. Depending exclusively on those concepts will only lead to disappointment and disillusionment. However, we can accommodate the concept temporarily while we gain some direct experience, and then periodically integrate the new experience with the old concept and gradually arrive at a wiser understanding. Some of our unskillful habits have been nourished for a long time, So they aren't going to dissolve overnight. Maybe we can resolve them in certain forms, but later they may return in another form, in a different package, in a more subtle or refined way. I think one of the limitations of our modern society is that people don't put enough patience and commitment into their practice. We are so much of an instant society. We want results immediately. However, the result of working with the hindrances is not simply getting rid of them, but rather the careful and detailed study of them in order to arrive at the subtle wisdom of knowing how they support self-identification. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May all beings be peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you for joining me this morning.